Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now we're in the age of the Empire and it's time to take over. Wow, really intriguing scenes from the movies, y'all.
During the rise of the Empire, the Emperor's home planet of Naboo rapidly established itself as a major irritant. After a number of Naboo's ambassadors were sent home in various states of dismemberment, her newly elected queen broke off diplomatic ties and began exploring military options. Clearly, it was time for a regime change. A change that would be effected by the 501st, now under the direct command of Darth Vader. Our orders were simple: to infiltrate the city, take out their leader, sending a clear signal to other potential troublemakers in the Empire.
Now we're in control of the Imperial forces, clad in stark white and with deadly persistence. The first few missions as the Empire is probably my favorite part of the campaign because we're still not dealing with rebels. Well, if you want to be technical, yes, they're rebels by definition, but they're not the rebellion, still just a mishmash of different troops. And even in the next couple of missions, you'll get droids and clones coming back as enemies. So a nice bit of variety in the early part of the Imperial age. The Naboo guards, they're no problem, you can just mow them down without a thought. And as for the Stormtrooper, the fabled Stormtrooper who apparently misses all their targets, no they don't. Well actually that can be true if you hold down the button for too long, but... oh sorry guy, I didn't mean to shoot you. There is a bit of recoil on the riflemen's rifles, and Stormtroopers just so happen to have the worst recoil, so be sure to fire in bursts with Stormtroopers. Other than that, every other standard class seems to work pretty much the same as their Republic counterparts. I think the Shock Trooper may have a more powerful rocket launcher than the Clone Heavy Trooper, but only by a minute amount. And as for the specialized classes, the Imperial officer right next to me sucks. Don't pick him. Don't pick him at all. I mean, I guess it's cool that a commissioned officer of the Empire is actually fighting on the front lines. You would never see that in the movies. But their firepower is just not good. They're armed with some sort of Geonosian sonic pistol, and you're just wondering why do they have this technology? And why the Geonosian gun sucks so bad, but at least they have a mortar gun. The mortar launcher saves the Imperial officer a bit. But that's enough about the officers. Next up you got the Imperial Dark Troopers, who are actually pretty insane. They're one of the better classes in this game. They do have low health, but doesn't matter if they're flying around the map. And they also have the Arc Caster, which is basically a lightning gun that you can charge up and shoot multiple enemies with at the same time. It will pretty much 1 or 2 shot most enemies and 3 shot a Wookiee for sure. And you, my friend, are about to taste some pain tonight. Man, I love being evil. Hey, watch your fucking language. This is Star Wars, dickwipe. Now we got a tank, which is pretty much the same as the Republic tank, even though it goes by a different designation name. I think this one's the IFT-T or something like that. And even that probably has a different name too. The Rebellion, or Naboo Guards in this case, oh fuck it, they're rebels. They have their own tanks, the AAC-1. Their tank co-pilot or special weapons operator, I don't even know what you call a tank co-pilot. I think they're more useful than the Imperial. Reason being, the rebels shoot rockets out of the back seat. The Imperials shoot lasers. So in a more direct tank fight, the rebels would win if I just stayed still. But I'm not staying still, and these guys just suck at aiming. Look at this. You know what? I don't even want to hear any more jokes about Stormtroopers missing. Actually, no, it's just my skill with the game, but still. When the writer decides that the Stormtroopers want to be deadly, they can be damn deadly.
Now we must destroy the auto-turret grid console, clearing access to the central plaza. Destroy it, and the Queen will be ours.
I'm bringing the Scout Trooper out for this mainly to recreate the cutscene. And also because I want this to be a day long remembered. This is Break the Door Technicians Massacre.
The Queen's
Rick's unbridled rage upon these poor guards, they better watch out. Nobody stands a chance when Rick enters the battlefield. He's so respected, even Darth Vader salutes him. In fact, it was Lord Vader himself who appointed Rick with this very important task of killing the Jedi. That's what makes him so special compared to all the other scout troopers and wannabe door technicians. In fact, door technician is a rank just for Rick. And because of that, everybody else is just a damn poser. Except for Rick, of course. That Jedi was too busy staring at the wall like a dumbass. Rick here was already planning 10 steps ahead. That's why he's one of the most dangerous men in the galaxy. His pure technical knowledge, hence the name Door Technician, the technician of doors and faces. Now come on, Jedi. You see, Rick's so badass he commits friendly fire and his friendly partner does not die.
The Queen and her royal guard are trying to escape. Quickly, you must eliminate the Queen at all costs.
It may look like Rick's in trouble with all the Jedi roaming about, but just another Tuesday for the dude. Woe indeed, inferior stormtrooper friend. Now, in all seriousness, I do have to be careful around the Queen, because not only does she have Jedi at her disposal, she also has a sporting blaster, which does a ton of damage up close. That was not me. You know I can't whistle.
Death will serve as an example to other nascent rebellions, saving countless lives.
And that was probably my favorite mission in the game. Oh well, we got 3 more of my favorite missions to go. Haha.
With the Queen eliminated, Naboo quickly fell in line. It was the first time the 501st was called upon to adjust a planet's government. But it wouldn't be the last. Within months, the 501st gained a well-deserved reputation as Vader's fist. Although the Clone Wars were over, some people never seemed to get the message. The worst case of denial was Gizor Delso, a Geonosian separatist who'd somehow escaped Lord Vader's efforts to wipe out the remnants of the CIS. Lord Vader tracked him to Mustafar and brought us in to finish the job. It seemed like a simple enough mission, but when we saw the fleet of droid ships hovering over the planet, we suddenly realized that Delso's denial mechanisms were a little more dangerous than we'd imagined.
That's the only cutscene in the game that blends prequel footage with original trilogy footage, and it's pretty badass. Even if the footage itself does not make sense in the game, because you got the prequels which looks clean and CGI'd, and then you got the original trilogy, which is dirty and probably some of the best practical effects of all time. Anyway, the enemy has boarded the ship, and it's the only time in the game that AI does this too. Because scripted event is scripted, I just killed my own partner. Don't stand near time bombs, dude. And is it me or does the time bomb sprite look like some sort of barrel or something? It looks like a Donkey Kong barrel and it's kind of out of place.
All right, then. Now get into your fighters and give those droids all you've got. Destroy their fighters and bombers. Watch out for the asteroids, pilots. They're easy to destroy, but that doesn't mean they aren't dangerous.
Righto, British Imperial guy. Stupid droid. Alright, now that we have the fighters and bombers back in our hangar, let me take the interceptor out. Because the TIE fighter sucks. Our next goal is to destroy at least 5 fighters out here, and the interceptor will get the job just perfectly. Oh, it's 8 fighters, not 5. Well, either way, the interceptor is one of the best vehicles in the game. The laser cannons on this thing, it absolutely tears face. It's kind of like the ARC 170. Except the interceptor has less health than the ARC 170, and you cannot survive a capital ship run with this thing. You will die. That is definitely something that the ARC 170 and the TIE Fighter has over the interceptor. Those vehicles have more armor. but sometimes more armor doesn't necessarily make the vehicle better. Unless if it's a bomber, or the ARC-170. I also love the way the TIE Interceptor's cannon sound. Not only does it have the iconic TIE Fighter shooting sound, it also has this weird hissing noise too.
Use a bomber to deliver the maximum damage.
Will do, weird Imperial guy who I've never seen before, who is British. All the Imperial officers happen to be British for some reason. I didn't know Britain exists in Star Wars. Anyway, I'm taking the TIE Bomber out, and the TIE Bomber is light years better than the TIE Fighter in every way. Except when I crash into thin air. What did I just crash into? Asteroid, yes, I know. I crashed into the asteroid, but it looks like I was nowhere near the asteroid. So the thing must have had a big hitbox. Ah, whatever. Time to destroy the capital ship. You know, it's weird to see Imperials fight droids in a scenario that's not Star Wars Jedi Survivor, because the droids come back in Jedi Survivor, and the reason for the droids coming back is a bit more fleshed out in that game. Here it's just, droids are back for some reason because some Geonosian escaped. Kill them. Kill them all. And it's also weird that this one Geonosian managed to escape Anakin Skywalker's wrath. It's so strange. Even though this is my favorite part of the game, it does come across as a bit fanfiction-y. Actually, that is the reason why it's my favorite part of the campaign. It's just balls to the wall insanity until the rebels show up. And even by the time the rebels do show up, there are liberties taken still.
Excellent job, pilots. Lord Vader will be most pleased.
The slight whiff of nostalgia the 501st had enjoyed fighting the droid fleet over Mustafar had already grown sour by the time we'd established orbital positions. Now it was time to find out what this was all about. By the time we'd made our way to the molten surface of Mustafar, it was apparent that Delso had been a busy little bug. All by his lonesome, he'd found a previously hidden droid factory, fired it up and cranked out his own private army of battle droids. Needless to say, this got the men of the 501st a little hot under the helmet, and not just because of all that lava. Truth be told, we'd all had our fill of those gearheads during the war, and we couldn't stomach the thought of going through another one. So we blew them up. Blew up the droids, blew up the factory. Damn near blew up the planet.
Is the Death Star operational yet? I do want to blow up this planet. Why am I even here? It's fucking hot. Anyway, we got boots on the ground on Mustafar, and it's another one of my favorite missions. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's hit after hit with the missions. But first we have to gain this command post in the central control room, I guess? I forgot what that area is called. There is a locked door to my left, but I just destroyed the panel with a simple grenade. That way I'll be able to take a shortcut if I respawn. Oh man, plenty of assassin droids and engineer droids. You really gotta watch out for the engineers or just anybody with a shotgun, because if they get one good blast off on you at close range, that's pretty much all of your health. Like right there. It's like I got shot in the face with a shotgun or something. I'm gonna talk about the awards you can get through gameplay. Some of them are good, others are game-breakingly good, and others are situational. I'm not gonna say that they're bad, but who would use some of this stuff? You know what I mean? Starting with the A tier, the thing I'm using right now, or actually I should call it S tier, because this thing is freaking god mode. It is the Elite Blaster. A 3-burst rifle that doesn't sound interesting on paper, but it just shreds everybody to hell. highly accurate and highly damaging. Hell, it's so accurate that you're guaranteed, or at least 90% of the time, gonna get a headshot. That's if the bullets don't excessively kill the enemy first with just a body shot. The precision pistol is another good weapon. Again, highly accurate and highly damaging. And you can fire the thing as quickly as you can too. You just press the button and pew, 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 pew. It just super strong weapon. I love it. What else is there besides weapons? A fletched shotgun. It's pretty much the same as the regular shotgun, except it has a thinner spread, I think? Or no, it has a wider spread, but it fires slowly. That, in my opinion, is honestly a downgrade of the regular shotgun. I don't know why the fletched shotgun's an award. Get rid of it. It sucks. Alright, what's next on the weapons list? The remote control rocket launcher. I guess we're Solid Snake in this bitch. But, yeah, it's just a remote control rocket launcher. It's not that special. Chewbacca actually has that as his secondary weapon. The way you get the remote control rocket launcher is a bit esoteric, in my opinion, and I've never gotten it. You have to get 4 critical hits on a vehicle with a rocket launcher. It's easier said than done. I guess the least messy way of doing it is shooting an AT-AT, since they're slow moving and their weak spot's their neck, which is kind of a big target, but still. In fact, don't even bother with the rocket launcher, it's pointless. Next up is the beam rifle, which is the award sniper rifle. Honestly, another downgrade. The beam rifle kinda sucks. It works kind of the same as Leia's or the Queen of Naboo's sporting blaster, which is a split-second beam. But it doesn't work if you're a sniper trying to stay far away. And also, the beam rifle has shorter range than the sniper rifle, which again doesn't work if you're trying to be discreet. But at least with the Vanguard and the Marksman class, who get shitty primary weapons, unfortunately, they do get the precision pistol as an award. So my girl, the Rebel Marksman's good. Rick the Door Technician's good. Yeah, every sniper and Vanguard's good with the pistol. Let me make sure that's all the weapons. Yeah, that's all the weapons. But you can also get a couple of passive skills as awards too. And those passive skills are based on how many hero points you get, as indicated by the star and target icons on the left-hand side of the screen. As we're killing droids, or destroying droids. I don't think droids count as lives. Or do they?
Any droid we don't destroy today will come back to haunt us tomorrow. Wipe them out. These Geonosians have been working on a new Confederate infantry prototype. Destroy the schematics before they can use them to build a new droid army.
New droid army. Now that sounds like a Star Wars title that flew under the radar. In fact, there probably was a game called New Droid Army and I just missed it. Let me look it up. Star Wars New Droid Army. Oh my god, it actually exists. It was on the Game Boy Advance. Okay, that was apparently a thing. And it looks like absolute cow shit. Okay, never mind. You can skip this one. Skip Star Wars New Droid Army. It sucks. The only thing that looks good about New Droid Army is Anakin Skywalker's walk cycle. He looks so goofy. Oh, just when you thought Attack of the Clones can't get any worse, the tie-in games are bad too. And this is coming from a person who actually likes Attack of the Clones, but if something is bad, something is bad. And speaking of bad, the Star Wars games on GBA were not really that great. I owned Flight of the Falcon when I was growing up, and oh, it was really poor man's Star Fox, and it sucked. Actually, no, it's kind of a knock at Star Fox. Star Fox is awesome, but think of Space Harrier 2, but the frame rate is even worse than Space Harrier 2. That's Flight of the Falcon. You know, it's weird when A New Hope and Return of the Jedi get 10 levels each, and Empire Strikes Back, which arguably focuses on the Falcon more than the other movies, gets 3 levels. So strange. Yeah, Fly the Falcon sucks. What else was there? Not Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith on the Game Boy Advance I've never played, but it looks good. It's just like your standard beat 'em up. You can't screw up a beat 'em up. Is what I would say, but somehow people manage to screw up beat 'em ups. Just look at Baby's Kids on the Super Nintendo. Yikes. Anyway, here's Gizor Delso. Yeah, cool name. He's kind of dangerous because he's got rocket launchers as opposed to a Geonosian blaster, and those could potentially one-shot you. And he's a Geonosian, so indeed he can fly, and he's flanked by other Geonosians who have their own sonic blasters too. So you gotta be careful, don't get cocky, kid, and pick them off from afar, because that rocket launcher is serious business. I recommend using the Dark Trooper on Gizor Delso because you get rocket out of trouble in a pinch. And the Arccaster can stun lock Gizor too. It's over, Gizor. I have the high ground. But you have the higher ground because they're flying. Fucking cheating bug. Oh god, come on. Yeah, Gizor has a lot of health, so you're not going to take him down quickly. Unless if you have the precision pistol, that is, or an Arccaster.
One droid rebellion.
The destruction of the mining facility put an
now you
end
bomb
to
the
any thoughts
station.
of a second droid rebellion. For the first time in years, the man of the 501st could relax and get about the business of maintaining an empire, rather than building one. Officially, there never was a clone rebellion on Kamino. Unofficially, approximately 20 years after we were created, a special detachment of the Imperial 501st Legion was dispatched to Kamino with orders to eradicate an army of clones that had been bred to take arms against the Empire. Our mission commander, an expert on the inner workings of Kamino, was a young bounty hunter named Boba Fett.
Boba Fett on the job.
Boba Fett has been chosen to lead a small task force into the Kamino Cloning Center. His familiarity with the center's layout and access codes should give us the element of surprise.
Here's the last of what I like to call the pre-rebellion arc. It's the assault on Kamino. The enemies are going to be clone troopers, but they're weird variants of jet troopers from the previous era. They have the jetpacks, but they also have blaster rifles instead of EMP launchers. Or they could just flat out have sniper rifles. There are some sniper rifle jet troopers out there. But the good thing is, actually there are multiple good things about fighting these jet troopers. For one thing, they're incredibly weak. And number two, you're playing as Boba Fett. In fact, the mission just starts out with you given a choice of whether to play as Boba Fett or not. Pick yes, because Boba Fett is one of the best gunmen in this game. Hands down, no exceptions. Boba's got the double E3 rifle, get it, E3, which is one of the best rifles in this game because it's a triple burst and it does a lot of damage. Han Solo, who is the counter opposite of Boba Fett, has a similar thing going on with his pistol. But unfortunately, we're not going to see Han Solo in this playthrough. But anyway, back to Boba Fett, his secondary weapon is a flamethrower, which is not as useful as his rifle, unfortunately. It's pretty weak. Or at least in terms of far range, it's pretty pathetic. For his alternate firepower, he's got jetpacks, which you can place on the ground or on turrets and blow up at any time. And he's got wrist rockets, which you have to watch out for. Or rather, the enemies have to watch out for the wrist rockets. Actually, no they don't, because I suck with wrist rockets in this game. What makes Boba Fett and Han Solo such powerful heroes is because they're ranged fighters, and they can pretty much one-shot enemies and stay as far away as possible, but they also get health back, which is what keeps them on the battlefield for longer. It's like a human equivalent to a cheat code. You know you're playing unfair, the odds are in your favor, everybody's getting angry at you because you're cheating, but you're just having fun doing it. Because, well, it's in the game. Boba Fett's a playable character, he's not a cheat code. Han Solo's not a cheat code. The Jedi are not cheat codes, even though they kind of are cheat codes. Freaking Mace Windu, he's overpowered. And so is Luke. In fact, go to the Death Star, pick Luke, and then force push people off platforms. That's an easy victory right there. In fact, there should be a rule saying no Luke on Death Star. Just turn the heroes off on that map. Oh, dude got the line wrong. Anyway, our goal here is to destroy the life support systems of the clones, which has some dark implications if you think too deep into it, but then again, we're playing as the Empire. We do dark shit all the time. Especially Boba Fett, who is now the new criminal underboss of Tatooine after Jabba the Hutt died, or something like that.
Objective complete. Clone pod life support down. They won't be cloning another army anytime soon.
The Kaminoans are evacuating in 5 minutes. Take down their transports before they can escape.
Now we got 5 minutes to take down 2 transports before they can blast off. One transport's going to be docked on one of these southern platforms, and the other one's already taken off into the air. The airborne gunship just decides to stick around and bombard some of the Imperials. I don't know, maybe he wants to prove a point. But yeah, I just go for the grounded gunship first because it's an easy target. That's all there really is, it's just sitting there.
That's another one.
Transport's down. They're trapped.
For the airborne guy, in order to make this easy on yourself, just use a heavy trooper, or shock trooper in this case because we're Empire, but I'm gonna try and do something flashy. I'm gonna use Boba Fett, and it's gonna fail spectacularly. I'm not sure what the wrist rocket's damage output is on the LAAT, but I don't think it's gonna be good, so I'm gonna use the jetpack in order to one-shot the thing. Oh my god, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. But then again, so am I. Come on, if I could just blow this thing up right in front of the LAAT. Ah, man. Damn it. Okay, so when I'm falling like that, I can't control that. So I couldn't detonate the jetpack. Wait for my jetpack to get more juice and hopefully get into a better position. Actually, can I stand on this thing? Let's see if I can stand on the gunship. Nope. Yo, who's flying this thing? Danny Phantom? I could have stood on that LAAT and been badass and said, yo, I'm Boba Fett. I'm avenging what happens in Return of the Jedi, even though I'm not sure if that's supposed to happen yet.
I'm out of here.
Boba Fett can see into the future, and apparently it's not a bright one. I switched to the shock trooper. No, I don't want to play as Boba Fett again.
That's the last we'll be seeing of those guys. I sure hope so.
That was oddly casual dialogue for killing your brethren, don't you think? Anyway, I'll see you in part 4, where we actually face the rebels.
The bounty hunter left after the battle was over. He said something about tracking down a smuggler on Tatooine. After the Kamino uprising, the Emperor decided that an army of genetically identical soldiers was too susceptible to corruption. Future troopers would be cloned from a variety of templates. Though the 501st itself remained pure, the rest of the Imperial army gradually became more and more diverse. We never really got used to the new guys.